Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. The entire video game world is talking about one thing today, and that's the Xbox One X. Ryan and I are very happy because we have the console here, and it's perfect. But I don't actually have it on the desk yet. It's in the building somewhere. So what do I have to do in the meantime? I have to talk to people about amazing Xbox One X games, such as Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
No worries, man. Great to be here.
Alana, thank you. We're going to talk about Sea of Thieves. Now, here's the thing with Sea of Thieves. I saw you guys at Gamescom, and I said to you one thing. I said, this is great, but what do you do in this game? And when I saw you at E3, I asked you the same question. I said, this is great, but what do you do in this game? That was my question I was going to prepare for today, and I don't have that question anymore. Because I learned that you do everything in this game. You swim, you shoot guns.
Get inside a cannon?
You go inside a cannon, there's sharks.
Yeah.
I thought there was just like grog and boats.
Yeah.
It's way more than that.
I do want to ask, though, the one question that I'm most excited about is how do you get quests? Is there a mainline quest? How do you obtain side quests?
Okay. Yeah, so let me just think of the best way to answer that. So at the moment, we're just kind of delivering them to players at the start of the experience and stuff.
Okay.
But our kind of progression system is going to be very much built around kind of NPCs that you're going to be getting quests from. And they're going to be kind of aligned to the different ways people want to play. So there'll be different types of quests in the game. At the moment, we were showing the kind of riddle quests, which are new, and the classic pirates, which are fantastic. But as we move forward, we know people are going to want to play in different ways, right? And some people are going to want to just go out and sink other players. Some people are going to just want to explore and collect things, and so we're going to be delivering those quests via kind of NPCs in the world via our progression system, and then players are going to get rewarded for how they play in kind of the different ways. So however you choose to play, whatever your kind of play style is, will ultimately build into your reputation and on your quest to kind of become a pirate legend. So
cool.
Yes, so that's where we're going with that.
When we first started hearing about this game, I was like, that's not like a 3D mascot platformer. It's not a collectathon. It doesn't feel like classic Rare to me. And then today we saw underwater swimming with barrels and this shark, and I was like, okay, that's the Rare that I know and love. What was it like to sort of bring this entire underwater environment in? Because I don't think any of us had any idea that there was an entire game under the sea. Yeah, so when we first put swimming in, we actually just restricted you to swimming on the surface, but we were kind of building everything below there, and we really. As we've been kind of developing this game, we're developing it with players, right? So this is the special thing about Sea of Thieves. So right now, we have like tens of thousands of players in our technical alpha who are playing at home. So they're going to be playing this at home, this build, this week.
I'm very jealous of all of them.
Yeah. Sign up for the Insider program and you get a chance to play, because we're constantly growing, constantly adding people in. And I'm serious, like we're not going to stop you from playing.
It's like a circle of trust.
Yeah, but there's an NDA, so you'd have to invest your time without knowing that you're going to be able to stream videos and stuff. But you can come in, you can play, you can fill out the surveys we send, that we send at the end of the sessions. You can give us feedback, and you can help kind of make the pirate game that you've always wanted, right? Because we've been testing these features and testing stuff as it goes in, and taking feedback from people and tuning a bunch of different things around like the frequency of ship encounters in the world, or skeleton difficulty, and all of these types of things. And we're looking at what our players want the most as well, and then looking at our roadmap and looking at what we want to prioritize and what we want to bring in. But I guess I went there because I think it's important just to understand what's so special about this. We've already got an amazing community around this game, and it's not out yet. And it's really positive community, really welcoming, really knowledgeable. And I think for this type of game, it's so important to have that, right? When we do finally charge for this game and open it up to the whole world, there's already going to be loads of people playing it, loads of people understanding, loads of people there to help new players, and loads of people to crew up with and to have adventures with. And I think that's so cool. And how positive our community is at the moment is incredible. And so we actually build into the world little Easter eggs and little nods to activities that players have done in our alpha phase, and we're going to continue that. So we're kind of growing the lore of the world around the players.
That's really cool.
Yes. So because we've always wanted to get players in early and build this game with them and build them playing it. And so so we're going to be. I think later this week we're going to be sharing some of exactly what those are. But some of our players have already discovered them, and one of our players, a guy called Amir, who's actually here at E3, like a big Rare super fan. But when we first put full damage into the game, he was just testing it out, and because they weren't
a fun afternoon. Jumping off a cliff.
And because we hadn't put bananas in to heal, and so he died so many times that we've just basically there's a skeleton kind of half stuck into the ground. Sort
Oh my
of,
God.
just with the legs sticking out, and then his kind of gamer tag is scratched into the rock next to it.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and the first player to die has his name scratched into the wall on the ferry of the damned. 'Cause he was
wow.
the first person to ever visit there, right? And
So-
and yeah. so,
Sorry, in
yeah.
terms of your community being really positive, and
Yes.
I already totally recognize that,
Yep.
do you have anything in place to stop people from just going around and shooting others? You know how like Grand Theft Auto has a dunce server?
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
rude to people, you basically get put on the bad
Yeah.
server. Do you have anything like that in place to stop other players ruining people and making them have a terrible day?
We don't at the moment, but we're monitoring this kind of behaviour with our players and seeing kind of like how well our mechanics and our game design encourages people to behave in the right way. Because it's a pirate game, right? But what we're going to be doing with our community as well, they've actually created a kind of a code on the forum for how people should interact with each other. Includes no swearing, and I've been moderated twice by our own community because I've accidentally sworn when I've got passionate in a post.
You do see the irony of well-behaved pirates.
I know, right? But we're
Rein it in, pirates.
but we're going to work with our players to build this kind of pirates code for how players should behave in our game, because they know, like, I think they're playing the game in the right spirit. And yes, you want people to be able to kill others, and you want like I think that the onus is on us to make sure that we design the game in the right way so that all of those behaviours can happen. So it's on us more than I think. I'd rather encourage people to behave in the right way than put in a kind of system that punishes them.
Sure.
But we are going to have like a crew management sort of system in terms of how because there are sometimes when someone's maybe being
And
toxic
I
over
think there's
voice
still
or whatever else.
a ton of room for insanity within the margins, right? I mean, when Alana and I played this game at E3 last year, I think we were sort of on point with what we were trying to do, but we were also like throwing stuff into the sea and getting drunk and
So my
yelling at
favorite
each other.
moment of the time that we played it
Yeah.
was basically we were in a ship battle with another ship, and one of our crew members got onto their ship and took over their steering wheel and didn't get off, so he just couldn't steer. It was amazing. We were like right in the middle of this hectic battle, cannons flying, and we're just holding the steering wheel so they
We got close to
And-
their ship. I jumped on board. I was like, I'm going to join them now. I'm defecting.
Yeah, well, that was before we'd added the blunderbuss into the game, or any weapons, right? And I remember that because we purposely took it out of E3 because we wanted to showcase the riotous fun. And like, in that early build last year, it was kind of we purposely, consciously said, let's take the gun out because like we don't want it to be too combat focused. We want it to be like you should, if you're just on the ship, hey, let's drink some grog, let's play some instruments, let's have some fun. And but now you have those tools, so that kind of behaviour won't be able to happen now.
I got really geeked out seeing a rare first-person shooting game again.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we got all of a sudden. I did not expect Sea of Thieves to sort of scratch all those itches at the same time. I got a lot of the kind of cool, quirky, charming stuff that I expect from my 3D platformers from back in the day.
Yeah.
And then, the guns from GoldenEye in an old-timey sense.
Yeah, and and I think you're right. It scratches a lot of itches. There's so much variety in the gameplay.
Pirates have a lot of itchy diseases.
They do,
Major
right,
scratch. Scurvy is what it's called.
Yes, but
just that one, really.
just that one.
It's really the only one. They
Yeah.
only had like a name for one disease back then. They just called everything scurvy.
That's it. But
that and rats.
But I think that the magic of Sea of Thieves, it's how all of the mechanics interact. Right, you've got some tools we give players, like the firing yourself out of cannons, like you're seeing here, which can be used in a myriad of ways.
I like that he got a little hurt when he landed, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, that took us about 82 shots to actually get to land that
wow.
when we were doing, because this is all gameplay, all done by our video team, and they hate us for not giving them better tools.
So then that's probably not the most suggested strategy for a situation like if it's a 1 in 82 shot to do that. Like,
It's so satisfying if it works.
If you could do it,
But to land it perfectly and to kind of get it, and then this shot here as well, just when he looks at the ship and it gets hit by lightning. Again, this is luck in terms of the lightning doing this, and so at this point, our video team are like, okay, we now need to nail the rest of this shot because otherwise it's gone, right? And but that's the thing, that all these things will happen in the game, right? We didn't script the lightning strike, it just happened, this is, we did script the shock, but but like. It's how the tools that you're given. So like firing yourself out of cannons is a tool we give players that they can kind of express themselves creatively, and whereas like the things in the world will be what kind of impacts on your adventures and makes every adventure different.
Like
whether
a shark,
it's
who is not a tool. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
A tool of the sea.
Yeah.
But I mean, when that guy jumped into the water there, like, what was the best case scenario? That he swims to the boat that's going 100
Well, he was
miles an
trying
hour?
to land on the boat. You see, like that's the thing, like because the boat he was on was sinking, right? And but that's the beauty. All of these things happen, and I've just come here now. Actually, we straight after the E3 briefing, we actually did like about a 50-minute long co-stream on Mixer. So like me, myself, and 3 other kind of video creators just were playing the game, this build, all the features, and it was absolute chaos. And there was so many amazing stories and moments happened in it. And
it seems like there's just a lot of opportunity for singular set pieces. So as someone who's played a lot of it, can I ask you, what is one story that really stands out to you as one of the coolest things that's happened to you in Sea of Thieves?
Wow.
No pressure.
Yeah, sure. So this was super early on. Like even this was in the prototype. Like, and we built our prototype in Unity, and it was ugly as sin, but still had the same gameplay experience. And we just wanted to prove out that core of a crew working together. So we had these like 3 islands in the prototype, really thin, kind of almost needles. They had this rope bridge kind of almost going between each of them. And one of our crew, I was playing in Redmond when we were demoing it to kind of a bunch of people over there, and he went all the way up to the top and dug up a chest, and then loads of skeletons spawned around him, and he did realize he didn't have a weapon, and he was just running around on this like little island, just going, please help me, and I was down on the ship like miles away, and so I just kind of took my cannon, aimed it up, and kind of just guessed for the distance and got the line right, and just fired it, and I just saw it kind of arc over, disappear from sight, and then this big explosion kind of smoke effect, and then I looked on his screen because he was sitting next to me, and basically he was like, what just happened? And they were all dead, every single one of them, and he was still alive, and so he got to just bring the treasure back and bring it, and it was just magic. And we were recording, so we were videoing all of these, but the video feed on his one broke, and so I could only see it from my perspective. Otherwise, we would have had the best internal video we could have shown. But there's so many. But that's one from like near enough 2 years ago, from like early on in the project, but it's still there. And
it wouldn't be a pirate game without some tales that only you can keep a secret. And this is forever.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of this, right? And we're in this age now where it's not just water cooler moments where people are talking, at work and stuff. They're going to be streaming it. They're going to be sharing it. They're going to be creating YouTube videos. And I think we're this type of game and this type of experience is so suited to this moment in time, I guess.
The guy or girl that perfectly lands that 1 out of 80-something cannonball shot is
a hero on Reddit.
That's going to be a very, very watched YouTube video.
Because you can use all, and also you can use all of your items when you're in the air being fired out of a cannon. So you could be drinking, you could be playing instruments, you could be firing, you could be doing anything, right? And
while you're going out of the cannon.
So
you can get in the cannon, fly out, drink grog in the air.
And then
hit the.
Play the accordion.
Play the accordion and then shoot someone as you land or in midair. And you could see, there's so much just potential for just that one feature, the firing out of cannons. I could see people setting up almost like jousting contests with 2 ships, like aiming at each other, and so you're both firing at the same time at each other and trying to kill each other in midair, just for fun, right?
Okay, technical question. Could you fire a person in a cannon into another cannon?
I don't think you can do that, unfortunately. Not yet, but we'll add it to
plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll add it to the feedback list,
Animals are one of my favorite things in the world because they're not like people. They're strange. We saw a shark.
We did.
What kind of animals can we see on land? I don't read it. What was a nuisance to pirates back in the day?
So we're going to be adding richness to the world in terms of creatures, and again we'll be looking at things that you can kind of hunt for food as well, so that because resource gathering and getting and staying alive is important in Sea of Thieves, and at the moment it's bananas, but there will be creatures that we kind of want to hunt, and we're always going to be looking at kind of new tactical variety, both within kind of skeletons and also with different creatures. So and then the same at the sea, and obviously in the future the Kraken will rear its head, as we keep hinting in all of those little paintings. Right? Still not really sure how we're going to do it, but we know we're going to do it.
So one of my questions is kind of right off the back of that. I've always loved the characters that exist in rare games.
Yes.
What do we have in terms of NPCs? Are there any standout characters that we're going to get to know and really strong personalities?
I think that has to be present in a rare game, right? And we've got some rare veterans, like Greg Mayles is on the team, 30-year kind of rare veteran with the banjo design director, and Ryan Stevenson's the art director, who was art director on Viva Pinata, and has brought a very different art style, but still that timeless style. That's still, Sea of Thieves looks as good as it did when we first announced it, and a lot of time has gone past, and Viva Pinata looks as good as it did. But so we have that rare heritage. We know that this is super important. As of the people who've come in since then, they've all joined rare because it's rare, right? And so we're going to be adding that character into the kind of the quest giving system and all that side of things. So where you go for all in the progression part of it. So when you're going to the outposts, there will be different NPCs responsible for different things and stuff. So that's where that charm, I think, is going to come from.
Excited to fall in love with characters. Like, I even think fondly of Clanker from Banjo, right? And he's not even someone who really says anything.
Yeah,
but I still like remember that weird metal shark very fondly.
Exactly, right. And
just because he's creative.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this is where our art team and our writing team are really going to come to the fore on that. And I've seen some of the work we've been doing on those different characters, and you know, they'll be very, very much themed. I think there's one that's basically got tattoos all over them, and they're the ones that's probably going to be giving kind of maps out and things like that in the world, because they've kind of got the locations of things drawn all over them and stuff. But
they've been places. They've seen stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right. And so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing the creativity as we build all of that out with our team. There's a lot of work done, and we've actually on the show floor, there's a big statue of another NPC that we haven't shown before, called Belle, who's just an incredible character. So you'll be able to see her.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So when can people play Sea of Thieves?
Sorry. They can sign up for the Insider program, and as we move forward, I think, you know, this is the thing that's kind of again unique and again just worth reiterating, is that we've got tens of thousands of people playing our game, and they're going to be playing it all this week, and every time we kind of run new tests, we add new people. And so we've got loads of people signed up to the Insider program, and you know, probably about 40%, I think, have been given access so far to the technical alpha phase. But you know, throughout, we're going to be just continually adding. So it's like, if you want to play Sea of Thieves, come and play it. Like, come and sign up, get involved. And even if you don't get selected straight away for the alpha, you get so many benefits of the Insider program. We give like weekly update mails out to you. You get kind of early access to the videos that we're always releasing every week to our community. The Insider forums, which are an amazing place, and we share so much insights into the design and the decisions we're making. And even look, we're accountable for when things go wrong in our alpha phase. You know, the servers like fail, and we have a lot of matchmaking errors. We had that, right, in the early stages. That's what it's for. But we tell people why it happened, and we tell people what we're doing to fix it, and it just brings everybody along on this journey with us. So it's like, if you want to play, sign up for the Insider program, and you will get a chance. So
yeah, and you might even be upside down in the game with your feet sticking out at some point. There might be a gravestone dedicated to you.
It's part of the fun.
It's part of the fun.
And that's it. And every time we do these alpha tests, we discover kind of the new things, because we don't go into it going, it's going to be this person that does this. We look at the data, or we look at the stories on the forums, and we're like, oh wow, that was amazing. And I think as we move forward, we're going to continue doing that, because when people start sharing videos and sharing stories, like, we'll be looking for the really interesting ones, and we'll be like, okay, wow, this amazing thing happened in this part of the world. How can we reflect it there? Because it's a thing that happened. It's a story. It's this is a world that will constantly grow and evolve, and we want it to evolve based on what players do. Like, it's not just going to be us deciding the lore, like, and it just stays kind of just rigid. And like the lore, there's a lore and a history to the world, and you can see that in how we build things and everything else, and how the NPCs will all be there and stuff. And we look forward to, I think, talking about that a lot more in the future. But the lore will grow and evolve. We'll layer things on top of it based on what players do. And I love seeing their reactions. Like the guy Amir I was talking about, he was like, this is the best achievement I've ever got in all my years of achievements in games. You know, and I think he's printing out the screenshot of it, and he's going to put it on a canvas and have it at home. But I love that we can do that to our players. But they are the most important people here, right? You know, they're the ones playing the game.
How long are you expecting to support Sea of Thieves for?
Yeah.
Is it going to be a decade?
I think as long as people are playing, right? And like we have strong plans. And Phil visited the studio, Phil Spencer, kind of about probably 6 weeks ago now, and we did an inside story, which is one of the videos we released to our community, with Phil talking, and he was talking about this. It's a multi-year kind of thing, right? Like that's our vision for this. Like, you know, we expect to grow our team and to have challenges running the project because of like how many people we've got playing, and it's this is, you know, I see myself on this for as long as humanly possible, basically.
Well, good. I'm excited to watch this game grow and evolve. Jump on it right now if you have the chance. You should go play it. Go get in a shark's mouth and get exploded and all the other fun stuff that's in there.